Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to live stream. I did say around 2 o'clock I'd go live, and I managed to do it bang on somehow today. Usually I'm always like late to whenever I say I live stream, but not today. Not today. I'm actually on time for once in my life when it comes to live streaming. But yes, welcome back everyone. I'm hoping you're all having a great day so far. Obviously working on a new page. You can see I've already started some of the line art for it. Last night I worked on the bottom left panel here on Fletcher. There's some elements on that bottom left one that I'm not happy with, so I'll probably end up redrawing that again. I'll probably redo the lineup for it. But this top one, I was like, I didn't want you guys to go through the pain of me trying to figure out what I'm doing this top panel or screen tone it with you all. But I didn't want to take up like all the stream time working on that first panel, just because there's a lot to it, as you can see, right? I'm just seeing this. I'm just going to quickly black that out, because that should just be a black pipe up here. Let me just quickly adjust that. Yeah. So I didn't want to bore you guys with me doing all the adjustments to the backgrounds, because there's a lot, and obviously there's mob characters, which I grabbed a lot of these mob characters from. I think it was a really good brush set from, well, it's not brush set, it's more like image material stuff from the asset store that I bought with like some gold, I think. And they fitted really nicely into this sort of scene. It fits into the perspective and stuff, so I used that instead of drawing every individual character, which is what I usually do when it comes to backgrounds like this. And I thought, I'll just have like some people on a crate on the back there, so that's what I've also done over here as well. More manga time, yes. Welcome back. Yeah, I said we're doing some more today. Obviously, there's a lot more going on in this panel, I feel like, compared to the last page I drew, right? So there's a lot more detail. There always is when there is a scene change, because I always want to try and depict where these characters are, so you really just get a good understanding of what they're seeing and what you can imagine around the characters, right? It's easier for readers to understand where they are. And then there was some funky paneling I've had to do for this specific page to fit all the text on. Usually what I like is always to have the characters on the same side. But as you can see, like down here, Locking's on the left, but that's more just because of how the text plays. I wanted Fletcher to speak first in this panel, so it made more sense for me just to flip the camera angle entirely. But usually, like, Larkin would be there, but he would be, like, talking to Fletcher here, right? Who's over here. But yeah, I'll change that up just because of how the dialogue's flowed through this page, so... Did the 3D box make an appearance? Yes. You can tell that the 3D box made an appearance here. The 3D box was very handy for drawing this one. For this one, actually, I just have a reference image. I wonder if I can grab it up, actually. It's over here. Yeah. This is a reference image for this particular background. I also looked on like some of the older websites in terms of like what it would have looked like in like the early 1900s. I can't necessarily get like 1897 on the dot, or 1893, sorry, 1893 on the dot. I can get close to it, but which they did have some lampposts down this street back in the day, but not particularly this exact design. The actual design for these lampposts goes slightly more like upwards, but these lampposts are actually around Bath. These are the ones that you can find around like the Royal Crescent in Bath, so it's still accurate to the area as such. But when I was looking at the road layout, it's like this is all dirt for all the carriages and stuff, whilst the pavements are just pavements. So not a lot has changed compared to like modern day reference, really. And Jolly's was around still back in 1893, because that came around in the 1830s, I think. So yeah, it's older than when the series is set actually. But obviously, just copyright stuff, I just put it as Jollies instead. Not Jollies, but it's supposed to be Jollies. But yeah, so that I did again. Like I said, I didn't want to bore people with me drawing the entire background, but that's gonna take me forever. And what I just did in the end, I just took my sketch and I cleaned it up instead of me just doing the line art for it. Yeah, I try and think because where the manga is set, right, is because it's set in Bath. For me, it's important to capture Bath accurately as much as I can, because I like to treat Bath in and in itself as a character within the thesis software because it's so important to the story, the city of Bath. For reasons you'll kind of find out in Arc 2. That specifically applies to Fletcher's character. But, you know, these are like real locations that you can go and visit, and like for me is like if you wanted to visit these locations you absolutely could. A lot of the indoor places are not accurate to what's inside of an actual building. But like the outside of the building that I've set it in, you can absolutely go and visit in person. And I tried to use as many public sites as possible, so you can just go in those buildings, right? So, you know, I don't live too far away from Bath, so for me it's very easy to get reference imagery from this area. So I got a lot of reference imagery, even of the street in Bath actually, because this is on the route towards Larkin's house from the Old Raven, which is where Lily-Ann's pub is, or Blake's pub, I should say, is. Yeah, this is like one of the routes to get back to Larkin's place. So, you know, it's also going the right direction back to Larkin's home. But it's just like a really minute detail, but it is accurate. If you walk from the pub to Larkin's home, that is the route he would take, you know, so... Yeah, exactly that. The place should feel lived in, right? Which I feel like the one thing I haven't really done, which I feel like I will try and go back and edit in volume 2 a little bit, is I just need a bit more mob characters in the backgrounds, because some of the streets can feel a bit empty sometimes. So I need to go back and add some mob characters, I think, but I'll work on that when putting together volume 2 as like a physical book. But yeah, it's like the actual location above, very important, and I try and get it as accurate as possible if they're walking like along the street, you know, so like everything you can kind of read in the thesis stuff and that you should be able to follow their track and they should end up in the right place, you know, so okay, it's like it's only like details that I feel like people who live in Bath would recognise, you know what I mean, so I'm not really resistant, it's just like, for me, I don't know, it's just how my brain works, but to be fair, I think I got it from like my mum, because my mum kind of pointed this out like ages ago, like when I first started like doing like chapter 1 of the Fetus of Death, and she emphasised on, you know, using the actual proper location itself to its advantage. Like in chapter 1, I remember using Google Maps and some of my own reference imagery by like the old Raven pub, which is just the Raven in Bath, and I was like studying the rooftops and everything because I wanted to get the rooftops as accurate as possible to that location. It was insane. And again, it's just like minute details that I know like most people don't really appreciate, but I appreciate it. And I find more enjoyment when creating a manga page because of it. Like I look back on it and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember how I drew that background. It just makes it a more fun process for me. Thank you so much for the follow, Lala. I really appreciate it. Trust me, anyone who draws stuff with this much heart and puts the work in is a winner to me. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of thinking that goes on behind the scenes that I don't really talk about often. Like the stuff like that I tend to talk about on like Twitter from time to time, you know. But I know like a lot of my readers don't really follow me on Twitter. But yeah, it's the sort of things I bring up on my Twitter quite a bit. I was just like, oh look, this is what I did for this page. But like most of the people who follow me on my Twitter are like fellow like manga creators, so like I know that sort of stuff really interests them, you know. So that's why I post it more to my Twitter than anywhere else. But sometimes I post it to my Instagram. One day I'll reach it. I promise you will. You will. Is that if you just work towards it, you'll be fine. You'll be there. What are you working on? I'm working on my own manga. I'm working on my own comic. I'm working on chapter 12 of page 32 of my manga at the moment. I'm drawing a new scene. So there's a lot of background work I've got to do for this page, as you probably just saw there. So that's what I'm doing currently. If I put that down there, let's draw the seam line and the rest of his arm. What do you use to draw? I use a Cintiq 32, and I just use, obviously, my Wacom pen, a keyboard, and the tablet pen. Sometimes I go for my mouse as well, so if you're seeing my stuff like move on screen, like now, I'm usually using my mouse to zoom in and out, so... When are you publishing? I'm already published. I'm already published. I'm a self-published manga artist. So I've got the first volume already out. I've released this like over a year ago now. So yeah, this is the first book that I've released. And then when I get this final chapter out, that's the final chapter for volume 2. So I should get a new book coming out soon, hopefully. What do you draw in red first? Just because it's my sketch. It's just easier for me. Like, if I had it on black, it's harder for me to tell where the ink lands. Like, if I had it on black, like, you can see how difficult it is for me to see where the sketch is and where my inking is, right? So that's why I have it on a different colour. But also, I just prefer sketching in red. So hopefully that makes sense. And then my thumbnails are in blue. So yeah, these are just to help with the layout. But yeah, some of that's mask stuff at the moment. Yeah, he looks like that usually. How much does it cost to buy the tablet? I got mine second hand. I think it was like 1,400 or something. It was quite expensive. Like, bear in mind, this is like the biggest art tablet you can get from like one of the biggest tablet brands. So that's why it costs so much. But I saved a lot of money to get it. But I mean, I wouldn't be able to live without this thing now. This is my baby. So I love this thing. Oh no, the book. Yeah, the book. It's $14.99 in pounds, so it's £14.99. You can get it off of my Etsy if you want the book. Yeah, it's all on there. And then the second volume should cost about the same amount once that releases. All right, so I don't plan on changing my prices for the volumes. So. Hi Eddie, how you doing? I'm doing good, thank you. I hope you're doing well. I said I'm feeling positive. I had a really good session. For people who don't know, I'm working on like a webtoon project at the moment. I've been hired as a scriptwriter for this webtoon project. So I had a meeting this morning, and I was just collaborating with basically the project manager of this whole thing. And we had such a good session. We had so much fun writing like one of the characters that we've been waiting to write about for so long. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how we've introduced this new character. Again, I can't really dive into too many details about the webtoon quite yet. As people know, stuff is coming. I can't say a date because I'm under NDA, but it's coming. We should know stuff soon, hopefully, about that. That's good. I read it on Webtoon. Peak Features and thank you. How far did you get on the Webtoon? Did you manage to get all the way through yet, or are you still reading it at the moment? Is it I love new readers, so it's a good time, honestly, to start reading it, considering we're literally right at the end of arc 1. So you come really at a great point, Annie. Like, you couldn't have picked a better time, in my opinion. So, right, so his bag strap should be down there. So let's draw that in. Let's draw a thin one down there. His bag goes down there, and then his coat can still go down here. Okay, and then we got Fletcher. You're on chapter 2 or 3? Yeah, you got a while. You got a while to go then. Oh, it said, yeah, it said, the first 12 chapters should be, like, the first, like, initial story. So you got quite a lot to look forward to. What's the, oh, sorry, I've got so many, comments. Give me 1 second, folks. I'll try and get through them. How did you, get to be a scriptwriter for the manga? Oh, so for the webtoon project, which is not this. This is something else. The webtoon projects, I got found on TikTok. It was, like, one of my videos that did poorly. It was, like, one that got, like, 300 views, and I was drawing a page from my manga, what I'm drawing now, from, like, chapter 10, I think? And they reached out to me via the DMs, and that's kind of how I started working as a scriptwriter. I presume they read my story and they liked what I did, so that I'm now hired on that project. So yeah, there's 12 chapters, Annie. 12 chapters, yeah. The app name is Clip Studio Paint, and specifically this is like the expert edition. So it's a more expensive edition of Clip Studio. So it's got more features for drawing comics and such, which I highly recommend if you're wanting to take comics seriously, to upgrade your Clip Studio if you have Clip Studio, because it's so useful. And yeah, my main character's name is Larkin. Yeah, Larkin's the main character. Who I'm drawing now is Fletcher, who is like the secondary protagonist, as you will. Which Annie has literally just started to read about Fletcher, so. I thought I was about to do some One Piece reading, my god. Yeah, no, I'm not that far into it. I mean, I've been working on this for almost 3 years now. I would have started, like, drafting out the first pages for the first chapter almost 3 years ago in December. So it's almost been 3 years since I started production on it. Not 3 years since I released it, you know. So we're only, like, 2 years and a bit of release at the moment, so. What's the device that I'm using? I'm using a Cintiq 32. That's the big tablet I'm drawing on, is the Cintiq 32. It's by Wacom. Fletcher, I look at you, is my favourite so far, just from the art. I appreciate that. I don't know, you might enjoy more a different character more in the character design department as you read on. I'll wait and see what your opinion is once you get to chapter 12, Annie. I'm looking to draw out an anime story, but I can't get the drawings, heads and proportions right. Look, it took me, I've been drawing digitally for 10 years, alright, so it's taken me a long time to get to the quality that I've gotten to. And I mean, if you look at the start of the Fetus Softened Death, as Annie will probably confirm for me, my art isn't as good as it is now, even back then. But like, I'll be honest, like, you know, if you want a story, you've got a story to tell, honestly, you should just go and just write it. Because, like, the thing is, if you're worrying about how your art looks like all the time, or how your writing is all the time, like, you're never ever going to start something. So it's better to start something than not start at all, you know? Because the quickest way you're going to learn how to create manga, or comics in general, is to actually produce them. Right? So this is why people always suggest, like, small projects to start out with, because it, like, improves your craft. Right, so I did a ton of like smaller comics when I was in university, before I did the Fetus Softened Death, and you know, my art is forever always improving, right? So it's just a skill that takes time. I've been drawing comics for 4 years now. four, 5 years, like since properly studying them. It's been about 5 years, I'd say. So you did some One Piece art change. Not gonna lie, 3 times is insane. By the way, I know, I know. I feel like my first chapter art is like really deceiving to how it is now. And to be fair, like 12 chapters isn't really a lot. Like I've drawn like 400 pages, I think, in total. Like just above 400 pages for this manga. And the progress in 400 pages is kind of insane, folks. Not gonna lie. Maybe I'm gazing myself here, maybe a bit too much, but like I do think it's a vast improvement. That is really noticeable compared to the first chapter. Cause I kind of just know what I'm doing now. I'm a bit more confident with what I'm drawing, so like I'm not having to undo and all my lines all the time. Like I'm more confident with my strokes and sets, right? So if I draw his neck in. I'm gonna start a manga. Already got this, the story, work on the design now. Yeah, why not? They said, like, go ahead. They said we always need more stories out there, especially in the times we live in at the moment, honestly. Just to produce anything creatively is worth pursuing. Because it's something that you look forward to. Like, even if it's not your full-time job or anything, which doing this isn't my full-time job. I'm far from it, honestly. It's just something you can look forward to in your day, right? So, like, I always look forward to drawing something to go towards my manga. There isn't, like, a day that I feel like, oh, I don't want to draw a page today. Like, it's very rare I feel that way. Like, I'm always, like, wanting to draw all the time for this comic. Right, and then put that down there. Right, so we got box, and yes, I can't remember who commented this, but I did use a 3D box to help me out here. I know you do. I think I was talking about this last stream yesterday. Did I live stream yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. The days kind of just merged into one, folks. But I did use the 3D box method here on this panel, and then I used some image reference in the background. I can't remember. If it was Google Maps or my own photos, I literally can't remember. These two things blur into one, right? So, put that down there. Get this box straight on. Brilliant. Okay, and let's make this hand a bit bolder around this box. Bring that up here. My friends went, oh no! Is there, do you have a charger nearby? Like, or are you out in public at the moment and you can't charge your phone? I forget people use their phones to watch my live streams. And I live stream for like 2.5 hours usually. So it's a bit hard to watch my streams unless you've got power. Right, let's put a white background behind Larkin and Fletcher here. Facing behind here. Oh, we put one there too. That's fine. Okay. Is there any gaps? Oh yeah, I see something. You get rid of some of this. Okay. Okay, so we've got the background to draw for that panel, but I might just increase the line weight slightly. And also, this looks like it's connecting from afar, which I don't want. I'm just going to reduce that line down just a tad like that, just so it doesn't feel like it's one connected line. Right, so I'm just going to increase the stroke around the characters here. So if we reduce that down just a tad to 1 pixel, that should be fine. Right, and then let's crack on with the background here. How are we going to start this? We've got to draw the street. I'm just going to grab my straight line tool, I think, for this. Okay, let's increase the line weight. Maybe not by that much, maybe like 5 pixels maybe. We can always reduce it if we're working on a vector layer, so that line needs to go down there because it's like a little lip. Okay, and let's draw the rest of the buildings. Oh, again, I'm just going to use a straight line tool just to speed things up a bit. We'll just copy what we have here. I mean, I could just take from my my sketch, to be honest. It'd probably look fine, but it is a little bit messier than what I managed to do up here. So I'm just gonna just draw on top of my sketch for this one, at least. Bring it that way. Right, and then we've got to remember to draw some of the street floor down here. Same down here. Right, and then this needs to be a bit thicker because this is like a wood plank here. Same with here. I don't even need my reference to know that. I just kind of know from staring at this environment for too long when drawing this background here. Alright, and then I kind of want to thicken that one out just so that building stands out a bit more from everything else. So that should look like that. That's fine. Thank you so much for the follow, Jenny. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate the followers as well from Board Scroller 777. I appreciate it. Yeah, can you send me the name of the tablet on messages, please? Yeah, I can send it to you after stream, Annie. I can do that for you. I'm trying to learn to draw Procreate, and seeing this, you make it look easy. Great work, thank you. I've been drawing for a very long time. Yeah, I appreciate it though. Thank you so much. There's a lot of tools that help me out. Image references, 3D, all of that really helps, especially drawing backgrounds. I find really help speed up my process and to make it look stronger too. Right, and that's curved windows down here. Make sure that's done. Right, and then I kind of want this to just all be black if I can. So let's bring that down. Okay. Alright, and what's happening with this? I think this was supposed to be like a window up here, but I might just leave the shape in. I might just make it like the upper square of a door instead. Instead of a window, because I feel like it might deceive some readers otherwise. Do something like that instead. Alright, and I'll worry about the windows last, because I'll probably do a little trick with them. Let's draw the pipe in here. So bring that up. So that's definitely a pipe. So let's put that in. Do you sell these once done? Yeah. So I put all of my chapters into a volume, so you can buy a book version once several chapters are put together, right? So I do put it in book format. So after the chapter I'm working on here, I should be releasing volume 2. Because I should have enough chapters completed to release another book. So that's my task over Christmas, it seems like, is to put that volume 2 together, ready for print for the new year. So that's what I'd like to do, at least. Because I don't think I'll get it out in time for Christmas, I'm not trusting the printing business around the Christmas season to get it out in time for that, so... Alright, bring that down that way. Right, and then bring that up that way. Bring that downwards. And bring that that way. Right, and then I'm just gonna get rid of that. Get rid of this. Okay. Backgrounds always take me forever to draw. I'm just going to extend that upwards. Bring that down that way. Bring that one up. Maybe you can help me with my manga. Look, I have a Discord server. I'll try my best to help anyone creating their own manga. I can't guarantee if I have time to respond to people or help them like one-to-one on stuff, but I can try and give advice on stuff here and there. But obviously I'm really busy at the moment myself. I've got so many things going on. But I mean, there's plenty of people in my Discord server who could probably help out as well. There's some manga creators themselves in there as well. So it's a nice community over there. We'd love to support. Where's your work so I can buy volume 2? Volume 1. Yeah, be on my Etsy. So if you want to go to my Etsy store, which is just my name, which is Elodie Dow. You can buy volume 1 here. So you can either just book it by itself, or you can get the reading bundle. Completely up to you. Everything's on there at the moment. Unless you're from the US, I should be able to ship anywhere. I literally, the only place I can't really ship to at the moment is just the US, just due to the tariff stuff at the moment. I just don't want to risk sending any of my books over there at the moment, which I hope people understand. Until like the tariff stuff changes and settles in place in America, then I'll start sending books out there again. Right, if I bring that down that way. What app is this? This is Clip Studio Paint EX, so it's a more professional version of Clip Studio, if you're wondering what I'm using. The tablet I'm drawing on is a Wacom Antique Clarity 2. That's nice, but I don't work with people alone. I prefer to work alone because I have a hard time talking. I get that. I'm a bit more solitary in my work as well. Like, I'm the only person who works on my manga, right? I don't have any assistants or anything. Like, I have test readers, but that's it, you know? I don't have anyone else helping me with my manga because I just can't afford to hire people. It's just, you know, if I had money, I'd hire people to help me out with this, but I am a one-man team at the moment. I do not earn enough money from this to hire people to help me out, so hey, bring that down. Ay, ay, ay. Like, I'm from the UK, so it'll be a little Christmas gift. So, oh, yay! It said, that's fine. It said, I live in the UK. I'm from the UK myself, so it should be no issue shipping to you. I should be able to get it tracked for you. And if you do order, feel free to give me like a message here on TikTok. If there's like a certain character for my manga that you'd like drawn, give me a heads up, because usually I do like a little doodle for free with every book order. So that's something you can also look forward to if you do buy a volume of my manga. If I know people, I'd rather, you know, draw them something they can look forward to. Otherwise, if I don't know the person who's ordered something, I'll just give them like a random doodle. So how much did the monitor cost? The monitor costed me second-hand 1,400, I think, like roughly around that. It's been a while, but I think it's around that number, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I got this second-hand. But like, please bear in mind, this is like the biggest like tablet on the market, and it's from like the highest monitor brand, you know, so, or tablet brand. I'm just gonna move this across a bit. Bring that down there. Okay. Let's draw down here. Also, I think we should hopefully have maybe a few more people here at, like, I would say, like, in about an hour's time, because school in the UK ends at 3, and it's also half term. when school ends today for a lot of students who aren't on half term already. So we might have a few more people joining us who are a bit younger in a bit. I just bring that up that way. Bring that down here if I can. If I bring that down now, I just want to erase the windows. Okay. Then this is a little lantern down here. Let's draw that in. Bring that down there. Okay. And then we can draw another line going down here. Like so. Brilliant. That's very expensive. Do you know any that's any cheaper? Yeah, you can get, there's so many more cheaper brands out there now, which I'm really pleased about. I've heard very good things about XP Pen, and I've also heard good things about Huion. Like Wacom is like the industry standard, not necessarily what's good value for money, you know what I mean? So XP Pen I've heard probably the most good things about compared to Huion. Huion I've heard more worse things about compared to XP Pen. So I definitely have a look at XP Pen. I know several friends who've got like XP Pen tablets. So right, bring that across. Bring that down. Brilliant. Okay, and then I might not want to effective one. There we go. That's the one I want. Bring that down there. Okay. Bring that down there. Bring that here. Right, and then we bring that down. And bring that one down. Then we'll draw the lines across to keep it similar-ish. Bring that down there. Get rid of those ones. Right, okay, and then we've got the other windows to draw. I got so many windows. There's too many windows in Bath, folks. Why did I have so many windows? Bring that up here. That's actual torture. Why is it getting any rid of that one? Okay, I'm going to get rid of that one manually, I guess. Okay, let's get rid of that one. Bring that one across down there. And down there too. Big up Melody. Oh, you just entered after. Nice. It said, yeah, I know some people are going in onto half term now, so it feels weird because it's like it wasn't really that long ago since I used to go to school, so it feels weird that I'm not on like school time anymore. Get rid of that. Okay, so that's that. So we've only got these windows on the left here to do. Right, so draw these ones up. Keep going with that. Alright, and now we can go all the way down there. Right, and then we should hopefully just be able to get rid of these lines with hopefully no issues. Brilliant, and then bring these ones down there. Bring these ones up. And that one up as well. Get rid of this line. Tidy that one up. Okay, and then bring this one up. And then we'll just follow the lines. Right, going with this one. Bring that down that way. Bring that down here. Alright, and then we just need to draw the window planes. I think it's here, so let's draw that line in. I'm just going to make this one a bit thicker, just because we're closer to the camera here. See if I can actually draw them in perspective, that'd be nice. Draw that line in there. And one other. And then we've only got this part here, which is just a slightly different window type. Okay, I think that's the background for that panel sorted. Oh my word, that took a bit longer than I expected. But it's done, that's the main thing, and it looks better than my sketch, so... I guess we need to draw the ground for this as well. Just to make it fit in with this, because technically from this angle you should be able to see the ground behind them here. Did I remove? No. Okay, let me get rid of that. I like drawing, but I'm also a story maker. Does that work together? Yeah, it said if you're an artist and you like writing, you should like creating comics. I used to be a writer before I was like an artist when I was younger. So like it makes total sense, you know, the reason why I went towards making comics, you know, so like it just makes sense. Like I don't know why I didn't think about it really before. Like now it just kind of seems like common sense. I would have gone down this path. It is what it is. You know now. So start heavy. Bring that down there. Bring that down there to add a bit of texture down, like so. Okay, again, what we'll do, once we get screen tones put down, I'll put like a white aura behind these characters, as I always do. If you're here before, and previous my streams, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, we'll wait until we get screen tones down. We'll get this nice simple panel here that we can just ink now, so... Right, so let me get my pen back out again. Factor layer. We probably want this on 10. Well, sorry, I should probably start with like just coat first, maybe. If I bring that down there. Nice, okay. Let's add some more detail. Oh, and then next page that I'm drawing. So once I get this page done, the next page is really quick because like half of it's like just a newspaper, and I know there's like 2 spelling mistakes in it, so I need to go and fix the newspaper before I do the artwork on it really. But that should be a really quick page for me to complete. So I'm hoping I can finish that next page and then I'll start working on the Halloween illustration. That is my task this weekend, is to get that Halloween illustration done. Again, I've got no ideas on what sort of illustration I should do for Vampire Fletcher, but I'll think on it. Like, I have no ideas in my brain. It's bad. And I've been knowing I have to draw this because I did it as a poll. So my readers wanted me to do a Vampire Fletcher drawing, and I've been thinking about it. I'm like, there's no ideas coming to mind in terms of how I want to draw this. But I think if I actually just focus on drawing the illustrations, then maybe something will come, you know, so... Right, so if we bring that down there, draw the nose in, right, and then draw the grin in, draw the eyelid in, and a high eyebrow. Okay. Right, and then if you draw the rest of his hairstyle in, that goes down there. and then a few bits. Just with its ear in. What's your favourite manga? My favourite manga of all time is The Grey Man. I love The Grey Man. I have done for many years. It's still my favourite manga. Not my favourite anime, but it is my favourite manga of all time. Though, I say this, but I've been kind of going off of The Grey Man in the more recent chapters, in the more recent story stuff. But I mean, it's still very close to my heart. The Grey Man is. I really enjoy it. My favourite anime? Yeah, my favourite anime is a less well-known one that I don't know if people really know. I know one person in the community knows about what I'm talking about, but I don't, even they haven't seen it. And it's an anime from the 90s called Kyokara Oewa. Or it's kind of roughly translated into English from today I am. And it's basically a delinquent comedy anime, and it's really good, really funny. The action's great in it. I love the characters in it. Takeshi and Ito are some of my favourite characters ever in anime. And I should really read the manga at some point. But there's no legitimate way of reading the manga. Same with the anime. There's no legitimate way to watch the anime either. But the same goes with the manga. But yeah, I need to read the manga by sailing the 70s some days, I think. So I bring that back down there. Bring the books down there. Right. Bring that down that way. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I do apologize if I say your name wrong. Azawatz? I do apologize. I appreciate this probably has some sort of Japanese linguistics to it. Azaways, maybe? Now maybe I should, my favourite anime is Hell's Paradise. You heard of it? Yes, I know of Hell's Paradise. You know, it got a webtoon release. It's formatted for scroll as well now, which is kind of crazy. On Webtoon Canvas, or not Webtoon Canvas, but just Webtoon as a platform. It had its own Webtoon version now, which is insane. It's the one with the long hair guy. I will say yes. Either or, depends on your interpretation. So they are non-binary, so they don't care how they're perceived. So perceive them however you want. Most characters in the Fetus of Death do refer to them as male, though. Bring that up here, but yeah, their name is Larkin. They're the main protagonists of the Fetus of Death, so. Yeah, Larkin's very drunk. Yeah, you get what I mean. It is available on Webtoon, yes. Yeah, if you're wanting to read the manga, you can read it on Webtoon. I upload it via the page on Webtoon, so that is if you want the most up-to-date version of the Fetus of Death, you can find it on Webtoon Canvas. Which, yeah, it should just be called the Fetus of Death. I can get it up. Ooh, I should probably close that tab because I can't show you that. Yeah, there you go. This is the Fetus of Death. So that's the Webtoon page. I'm also around on Global Comics and Manga Plus Creators, but that's only up to chapter 11 at the moment. Thank you so much for the follow, Jade. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I think I followed you on Webtoon. I think you might have, because I did see my creator page follower count go up by 1. So I have like 54 followers on my creators page now. So I presume that might be you if you stepped onto that. What's the device you're drawing on? Is a Cintiq 32. It's by Wacom. Right, let's draw some panic lines. Keep that going. Bring that down that way. Keep that going. Right, and then if we bring that way. No worries, these are cool, keep it going. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it, Jay, thank you. Is it cheap? No, it's not cheap. I bought this for £1,400. But it is a Wacom tablet, so that's why it's so expensive. It's more, you know, obviously because of the actual brand itself. I've got to go. See you later, Annie. I said, I'm sure I'll see you in a future stream. Or if you join the Discord, I'll see you on the Discord. Oh, contemplation. Yeah, I said, the thing is, I don't think they produce the 32 anymore. So they're more highly sought after now, the 32-inch Wacom tablets. And I don't see them on sale often. I got my second hand off of eBay. I won a bid for it, so I was very lucky to get the tablet. Honestly, I thought someone will outbid me, but they did not. Surprisingly, so I got honestly a very good deal on this tablet, because it didn't just come with this tablet. It came with like the keyboard, the express keypad, the 2 computers that are designed for the 32, and some other bits and bobs. Like it came with even like the 3D pen, and I don't even know how to use the 3D pen, but it came with a 3D pen. I've never figured out how to use it, but it does work. But yeah, I said I just don't do 3D, so I don't need that 3D pen. Bring that down there. Shut it on there. Alright, bring that down there. Brilliant. Okay, and then put that down here. Put something like that in. That should be good. Okay, let's throw a white background behind like an reflection that panel then. We'll just all the way around. Okay. And then again, I think we could do like a little 1 pixel stroke around these characters here. So I'm just going to reduce the line weight down on that 1 pixel. And then I'm just going to get rid of where it's built onto the border here. Thank you so much for the follow, Airy and Toasted. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Is this a romance magic? No. It's a crime mystery manga set in Victorian era England. It has like vampires, witches, spellcasters, stuff like that. It said there will be romance in it, but it's not like the major element of the piece of stuff left, if that makes sense, right? It's not focused on romance. Right. What should I do for the background in here? I don't know. I didn't think. I just kind of I figure out the background once I get to line asking it the next day, and I have not thought about what I wanted, what I want the background to be. So this is a bit of a dilemma. What should we do? I don't know. I don't want to use dots again, because I literally used dots on the last page, I think. It'd be kind of a cheap way to go if I use it again. I mean, it wouldn't look too bad, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I could just do like random shapes, I guess. I don't know. I wonder if there's something else I can use at all. I don't know. Because does that work? Okay. If I do it like that, maybe. I do something like that, maybe. Like, we don't need like speed lines, but like maybe like mini ones. Maybe. Okay, let me adjust this slightly because the line doesn't need to be as long as I've done it. Reference point. Okay, maybe that looks a bit trippy. 1 second, let me turn that off. If I do this 100, is that gonna space? Yeah, that's gonna space it out. Okay, cool. And then the gap can be increased to 10. I don't think they need to be as close together as is being depicted here. Brilliant. Okay, and then what I'll do, just because these lines near around Larkin are just a bit too small, I'm just gonna get rid of some of these. Do something like that. And then what we can also do, we can get Larkin trembling here a little bit, maybe. So if we go to my effects, let's do a trembling pen. You get like Larkin shaking a bit here or something. Something like that maybe. Bring some over here. And some over here. And then we can get an effect of like some sort of like laughing sort of effect maybe. What am I looking for? Like that. That's what I meant. Maybe we can have one like on top of the speech bubble or something. I mean, it can come from Fletcher directly. We didn't have enough room over here, so it might just be better coming from the speech bubble, that's all. Okay, something like that. Okay, let's reduce the line weight on that. There you go. And then let's put a white outline around that as well. So let's do like 10. Brilliant. Okay, and then we just got that last panel to do the liner on, and then we just got screen change. So let me save this. And let me preview it, because I haven't previewed it yet, I don't think, on the stream, which I probably should do. Hello, how are you doing, Kakaro? How are you doing? Did you do some AMQ script? I did. Oh my word. This is the first time I've ever had someone join the stream who recognized me from AMQ. That's kind of crazy. I bet most people in this chat don't know what AMQ is. But yes, I am the same person who does AMQ. He said, welcome to the secret stream. I don't think a lot of people in AMQ know I draw my own manga. Or, you know, write a script for a webtoon that's coming out soon. I kind of kept it under the radar from the AMQ community, so because I've been working on this for like the last 2 or so years. This is crazy work. What's the plot of your manga? I'll read it today. Yeah, so basically you follow a downtrodden scientist called Larkin, who has had all of his work plagiarized by his boss. He's a scientific researcher, but essentially one day Larkin discovers a book filled with mystery, magic, and murder, which, you know, leads him to this path of like, you know, a whole supernatural world that he's never known about. It's set in Victorian era England, specifically in the city of Bath. And essentially one night, Larkin gets attacked by a vampire, but he's saved by our secondary protagonist called Fletcher, also known as the Golden Thief. And they're also here on this page. And essentially, the whole gist of this first arc is that they need to find who has killed Larkin's boss to get Larkin's name cleared for murder, because Larkin's basically been framed for murder for the death of his boss, who also got attacked the same night. So that's the general gist of the Thieves of Death. So if you like your crime supernatural mystery manga, kind of like Case of the Vanitas, Moriarty, The Patriots, D. Grey Man, Black Butler, like those sort of vibes, you'll probably like my series. I thought the name was familiar. I haven't played much in the last few years. No, same here. I literally played like AMQ for like properly for the first time in like maybe 2 years yesterday. And yeah, I've lost a lot of my knowledge, honestly. I'm not as good as I used to be. But yeah, I used to play, I mean, I was like one of the OGs on AMQ. I mean, I did some of the recolors for the Kogami skins back in the day too. But yeah, most people know me from doing the background script. That I think is still like the most popular scripts in the community, I think. But yeah, I haven't really interacted with many people from AMQ in a very long time. But again, like, a lot of people from the AMQ community don't know I do this. Because I kind of did this after I left playing AMQ a lot more. Just because by the time I kind of left AMQ, I started university. And that took up all my time. And now I'm not in uni, so... But yeah, I got really obsessed with watching NoPixel during COVID. So that's why I didn't play AMQ as much as I used to. Because I got obsessed with something else. So it happens. Currently, I'm not really obsessed with anything, so... Bring that down. Thank you so much for all the follows, folks. I really appreciate it. Bring that up this way. What am I doing here? So that hair strand's gonna go over the hood of the coat. So let's put that in. And you know what? TikTok livestream hasn't asked me to do like an authenticator yet, which I'm kind of just expecting because it's 3 o'clock. So it's been just over an hour since I started the live. So I'm kind of surprised it hasn't asked me to verify myself yet. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on that as well at the moment. Because TikTok likes to think I'm a robot, but I'm not a robot. I promise I'm not a robot, folks. Actually, some of that just be hidden. Let me take it over here. Bring that over here. Did you like the Ultron drawing? I said yes, I saw that drawing. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. Thank you so much, Amelia. I really appreciate it. Is the manhwa being made the same way? In terms of like, if you're talking about like the manhwa I'm script writing for, very different. Like the Thieves of Stuff and F, like the manga I'm working, that you're seeing me working on here, this is like completely solo project. Like I have no one else working on this with me, whilst the webtoon I'm script writing for has like a full-blown paid team behind it. So it's a very, very different circumstances behind the webtoon. That's releasing at some point. So okay, I can't give a date on that, but soon. That's all I can say. Yeah, it's been interesting though. It's interesting to see how commercial productions go. Because that's like the first time I've ever been like exposed to commercial production. It's interesting, is what I will say, folks. But yeah, I think a lot of people will like the webtoon when it comes out though. I will say it probably appeals to a broader audience than maybe my series does. Bring that down that way. something like that. Right, and then you need to make sure his neck scarf comes out here too. I know it's up there, but I might just move it down here. What app is this? This is Clip Studio Paint EX, so it's a more expensive version of Clip Studio. So yeah, it's got a lot more comic features on it. Highly recommend upgrading if you've got Clip Studio and you want to take comics more seriously. It's a fantastic program. You know, I can't recommend it enough, honestly. So I love this program so much. Yeah, so for the webtoon, I'm doing the script writing for that webtoon now. I was hired to do script writing for it, so I'm like the main writer for it. I can't explain more than that until it's out, but yeah, I am essentially the main writer on it currently. So let me put that down. Let me put... Oh, where's my straight line tool? Hidden away. There we go. Let's add the details onto the crate. Okay. Thank you so much for the follow, Lion. I really appreciate it. Also, I've seen some memes of Critter users using the plane controls of it. It's really like, nah. I'll say Clip Studio Paint is like way more complex than Critter is. And I mean, I used Critter before Clip Studio. Critter really isn't that complex compared to Clip Studio. Like, if that's like a plane, Critter's like a plane control thing, that I would imagine like... like Clip Studio Paint being like the controls of a rocket ship or something. I love, thank you so much, US. I really appreciate that. I hope you speak upon the entirety of the US. I very much appreciate that. I absolutely love your work. So awesome. Thank you so much. Is it Tino? I do apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. Thank you so much, Tino. Appreciate it. Right, and then, yeah, I was struggling with drawing this arm before last night. I was like, what is this arm doing? I still can't figure out. But as long as it kind of looks like his arm's bending here, that's the main thing. I think it probably, like, it probably needs to come out like that way. I couldn't figure out last night. It's hard because I've got like a box here that I've got to also draw in. Something like that. Keep that going. Something like that. I think that looks a bit better than my sketch. Bring that downwards. All the way down here. What are you using to zoom in and out? I'm using my mouse. It's hidden. It's hidden all the way. Oh, actually, the robot authentication has finally appeared. 1 second, folks. I'll answer your questions in a second. Unable to verify. Okay, well, I am definitely not a robot, so there we go. Okay, now I'm verified. I love it more than watching it live. Also, I've asked this 3 times, but do you like my Ultron drawings? I said, yeah, I said to you, I did see it. I did like it. I did see it in the Discord. Do not worry, I did see it. I did really like it. Also, I can't remember who asked me to live stream. Oh, Annie asked me to live stream today. They were here earlier, Annie. Annie was the one who asked me to live stream today. So please thank Annie, folks. They're not here anymore because their phone died. But they asked me to stream today. Bring that up. Bring that up. I didn't hear your answer. Sorry to annoy you. It's alright, you're not annoying me at all. I apologize that you didn't hear my answer, that's all. Or if I didn't make it clear that I was responding to you. Do you read manhwa? Sometimes I do. I used to be a bigger fan of manhwa back when I was like 16. I don't read them actively anymore. But I am very much like aware and taking in stuff still from manhwa. So, but the thing is, it's like a lot of manhwa that's coming out that is like releasing in English is like mostly like historical, like isekais aimed towards women, which is not really my cup of tea necessarily. So I think that's kind of why I've been going off of manhwa recently. There's just a lot of stuff that's releasing that, you know, I wouldn't really go out of my way to read, which is a shame really. But it is what it is. I much prefer reading indie series at the moment, so I'll bring that up down there. Your artwork is so behaved. My line art used to be a lot worse. It used to be a lot more heavy-handed, my line work back in the day. But I've got like a nice flow in mind now. I'm like way used to how to control the pen compared to how I used to. I still don't think it's perfect, but it's better than it used to be. Right, the back of neck. Right, and then that should be that panel. Oh, and then like his neck. I need to do that. Draw that in. Could do something like that. Okay. Okay. I think that's the line art pretty much there. I'm just gonna flip this for a second. Does this need to go out? Actually, I think let's take the elbow out a bit more here, because he is carrying a box fetcher here, so I think we just need to show you the elbow. It's a bit sharper there. Right, okay, let's put the rest of his black belt in. Okay, and then white background behind those characters then. Put that all the way in. Right, and then there should be a gap there, because we shouldn't see the box from that angle, so let's get rid of that. I think everything else has been well behaved. Brilliant. Okay. Right, so we've just got screen tones to do now. And then, I did say this, but I didn't know if I should redraw this left panel, because I wasn't that entirely happy with it. I don't know. Because I feel like my sketch looks better than my line art. But it's just unusual. I don't know. I might just leave it for now, and I can always just redraw it. Right, let me just thicken them up. So like that. Brilliant. Okay, let me preview this and then we'll screen tone it all. Don't worry about me. Just do minor adjustments whilst I see them. 3D preview. My line art does feel a little thicker on this page compared to usual. I wonder why. I don't know why that is. Oh, it's my line art to feel thicker. It's more this panel that's annoying me and the thickness of it. It might be the background that's causing that more than maybe the foreground characters, though I will probably reduce the line weight around these characters. I might just turn that off. And let's reduce the weight in the background as well. Just make it thinner overall, something like that. It just makes it a bit easier. I'll stick with that for now. Right, what should I screen tone first? Should I start with the mob crowd or the background? I kind of want to do the background first, which I don't usually do, but I kind of just want to get the background done, then it's sorted, and then I can worry on like the characters afterwards. So if I do something like that, right, and then if I grab this brush, woo, everything's this thing. Okay, hold. I might need to redo that because my mouse. Oh, actually, it turned out okay. Oh my word! I thought I was going to be horrendous then because I completely like went off center. Okay, we'll keep going with this. I'll adjust like the darkness of it all after, so I'm just going to get it all plonked in first. Let's bring that upwards. Something like that. Okay, and then that window. And then down there, we've got some empty white spots down here. Okay, let's adjust this. So we kind of want the sunlight coming off the street. Of course, we always want it slightly dark going towards the camera, but I might just outstretch this a bit. Do something like that. Because the thing is, sorry, if I bring my reference here, folks, the stone in Bath is really light compared to most cities. So it's quite important to keep that in the scene itself. So that's what I'd like to try and keep. Right, brilliant. Okay, so if I do that, and then I want the actual storefronts to be slightly darker. Because some of these storefronts are actually dark in real life. So if I do that, maybe with it. So I bring that down. Something like that. Again, I'll adjust the darkness and stuff afterwards. Bring that across. I'm just being careful because I want to do the windows slightly differently, but I might do that one darker. So if we bring that across, bring that down, bring that across and across down there. Is that going to be filled in? Brilliant, thank you very much. Keep that going down there. So that's Jolly's storefront. So we're down there. Okay, and then, yeah, we want these poles to be a darker colour, like the reference. So let's keep that dark. Same with down there. Same with these ones here. Let's make that all dark. There you go, just keep it consistent. Okay, and then the roof parts here are going to be darker too. And up here. Is there anything else? Yeah, this roof part down here. Down there, again, we've got more pillars down here that needs to be darker. That's the storefront window. Okay. And this side is darker. And this side is darker. Keep that going. And then I'll just keep it consistent. I'll keep it going all the way down the street, actually. Why not? Alright, goes all the way down there. Okay. Right, let's quickly fill in the gaps here. Okay, let's turn this one on. Right, and then this doesn't need to be as dark as it is. Just kind of want it slightly darker. Something like that. Okay, and then we want to do the windows now, which is a lot of windows in this background scene. So let's select all of them if we can. Ideally, I'd like to do it in like one good shot, you know. Whether I can do it in one good shot we'll discover. Because I bet I'll miss some stuff out, which is going to be inevitable, I feel like. Did I put that in heavy shadow? I did. Okay, let's get rid of that one then. So this needs to be done. I feel like people don't tend to see me do background stuff, so I know it's a bit unusual to see me do stuff like this. Okay, I'm not going to worry about those windows too much, maybe. I will do these ones though. Okay, that'll be enough windows. Right, what we want to do now, we want to do like a window glare. So I'm trying to think if I want to do this in white or black, because I can do either or, and I get like the vibe across, you know. I can do it, or I can do it in white. It might be better in white to do it, something like that. Something like that. Looks good. Right, and then I'm going to go around with some heavy black here. Thank you so much for the follow, Stray. I really appreciate it. Let's do some heavy shadow work. Add some three-dimensionality to the building itself. Put that down there, put that down there. Okay. Let me get my pen, let me add some shadows myself by hand. Bring that down, brilliant. It doesn't really matter if it's too messy. Okay, and that one needs to be put in. Same with these ones up here. Put that one in. I feel like I can put maybe some like haze sort of like brush effect here on this curve, just to make this shadow a bit more natural, like so. Right, and then this one's set inwards, so let's put that like a heavy shadow under that. Same with here. Like that. And then this is like a hole down there. And same down here. Right. And then I think I might just make this all black. Like so. This finger makes it look a bit cleaner. Is there anything else? Let's do that part, and these ones up here. No problem. Your art looks awesome. I'm also sitting in front of my tablet doing my work on my manga. Brilliant. It's just I love when people also draw alongside me. I feel like we motivate each other, you know, when we do that. I love that. How the hell does Behave lineup look like? I know. I don't know. Thing is, like perspective rulers and stuff really help. But like a lot of this is like, because I have a reference image, sorry, my reference image is like hiding over here. I'm also using a reference image, so I can see if there's any mistakes within this as well. So I was just thinking if I need to put any shadows, because I think I can put a heavy shadow under this one here. But I feel like because it's so far down the street, it's kind of distracting, if that makes sense. I don't know. I might put a gradient on that one, actually, if I do something like that. You know what I mean? Right, and then we want something. There's a brush I'm thinking in mind. Oh, here it is. Probably something smaller than that. Okay, something smaller than that, I said. Something like that. Because there's screen tone under this, you can add like some little glow thing, so the black is not as harsh. Something like that. Okay. The thing is, in general, the actual mob characters will be darker, so they should stand out a lot more from the background when they go and draw them. But let's draw the grounds now. Also, we've got to draw the sky. Actually, let me put the sky in before we do the ground. What sky should we do? I've got pre-made skies made up. Let me find them. It's in monochrome backgrounds. I don't even know what we want as a sky texture. I mean, that's fine. That'll do the job. Let's reduce that down a bit. I don't know, maybe it would look strong if it was a bit stronger like that. It might look stronger if I had it fully blown like that. Ooh. Yeah, let me just zoom this part out. It's so motivating. Yeah, I glad you agree. I find it's funny. You know how people have like YouTube videos going in the background? That's what I usually do if I'm not live streaming. I usually have like some sort of like live stream videos. Like, if people don't know, I'm like a big fan of like FNAF, so I tend to watch like a lot of like people who do horror content and stuff, like horror games and stuff. So that's what I'm usually listening to in the background. Or just some sort of like random TikTok drama that I have like no clue about. So that usually tends to be like what I go and watch. Do something like that maybe. That's pretty good. Something like that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know, maybe I should draw some sort of sun on top of all of this. Maybe. I don't know, maybe I should. Or maybe some sort of sun rays or something. I could do sun rays, I guess. I could do sun rays. If I do it like that, maybe. I don't know. Where's my airbrush? Alright, let's go on and grow for a second. Because I could go, let's put some like light rays in. Because this can go on top of the mob characters then. Something like that. Maybe reduce them down slightly. This adds a bit more texture to the entire thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it looks better with sun rays or not. Yeah, I think it helps break up the sky a bit. I don't know. I'll just turn it off for now. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. How did you draw the background? It's amazing. Reference. So I took photos of the street in real life. This one's from Google Maps though. For the specific angle I was kind of looking for. Because I'm so short, folks, the sort of angles I need for some street scenes, I can only kind of achieve on Google Maps. So it's kind of a mixture between Google Maps and my own photos. And yeah, this is how I created it. Because all of this is set in Bath, so. Can't believe I've listened to a lot of Trash Taste on YouTube when I draw. Oh yeah, I did. I used to listen to them a lot more when I was at uni. I don't really listen to them anymore, so. But I can get like podcasts, like listening to podcasts in the background. Totally understand. But I just don't listen to podcasts anymore. The only one I'm kind of listening to just because I really like them and I literally just started doing them is Dan and Phil. I love Dan and Phil. So I've been listening to their new podcast recently, and it's so funny. I love it. Right, let's start on the mob characters here. Well, first of all, we'll start on Larkin and Fletcher, because we want them to stand out the most, right, folks? So we want like the most complicated screen tones usage to go down to them. So I'm just going to focus first and foremost on them first, and I think we need a gap there. Alright, I think we can just do single tone. Usually I do shading with tone as well, but because they're so small here, I'm not gonna bother shading stuff in as much. Like apart from like Dutch's coat, which I'll shade a little bit at the bottom. I think we'll single tone everything else. So let's just coat. That's just going to be 60 at the bottom. Oh, actually, let me sort out my screen tone layer. Sort out so it's in order. Yeah, let's get rid of the 60. Put the 50 on that bracket as well. Right, let's select that. Then we'll get the haze option out. And put some shading at the bottom of his coat. Right, and then his trousers are going to be black. Well, they're technically 90, but I'll just do them black for ease of being able to read him. And then we'll do 30 for the shoes. Let's put that in. Brilliant. Okay, and then 70 for the cuffs, and then it's 30 for the box itself. So we'll do both the boxes now, like this. Right, and then it's 50 for the bag. 60 for the trousers here. And we'll just go black for the shoes, even though they're supposed to be 80. It's just easier to read if it's black. Same. I might just the leg separation there. And then I'm going to do a gradient going upwards for Larkin's coat here. I don't know how they had a podcast. Usually I listen to MB and BAM. If a podcast you meet. Oh, I've never heard of them before. Yeah, I said Dan and Phil literally started it on Monday this week. So they've just started their podcast. But it's very short episodes. I don't think they'll be very long ones, you know, so. Okay, brilliant. Okay, and let's put a little white aura behind Fletcher and Larkin here. Yeah, so let's do that. Now, we have options to draw the mob characters, like screen tone the mob characters here. And I do not know which one I'd rather do. I can either just put like a little gradient across all of these mob characters, or I can go in individually and put screen tones in for them. I don't know what I prefer to do more. I mean, it'd be more time consuming to screen tone everyone separately, or I can just put like a gradient on top of everyone like that. Because it might focus more on Larkin and Fletcher then if we do this. Yeah, I might want to do that instead, honestly. Something like that. I think that looks better if I do gradient than doing them individually, honestly. Because if I do black, then it draws the attention. Like, if I do any, like, solid black than those mob characters, I feel like it will distract where you're looking through on this panel. But this is so cool, thank you. I appreciate it. Don't mind me rambling about how to screen tone this. I'm trying to do some thinking here. That's all. So. I don't know. I mean, I'd ideally like to shade some of these buildings in on the side as well. But if you see this line here, I presume you guys can't see, but there's a line here. So this portion between my fingers, it's gonna get trimmed off when it goes to print. So you only see like these buildings here. So I don't think it's worth screen toning them in really. Alright, now the debate is, do I have sun rays or not? I kind of like it with the sun rays, but I don't know if they're too strong. Maybe I'll put them on 20. Is that going to be even visible on 20? Oh no, they are visible on 20. I think 20 is quite nice. There, maybe 30. 30 or 20, I don't know. 20 is more gentle, but I think 30 looks better. Okay. Let me preview this from afar. And then we'll move on to screen toning everything else. Because everything else is easier to screen tone. It's just that big top panel is probably the most difficult thing to screen tone. Yeah, it looks good with those sun rays actually. Oh, I'm not displeased with those sun rays. Oh, actually, maybe I can add some dust particles. I could definitely add some dust particles. Maybe I should add some dust particles. 1 second. Where's my dust particle brush? The top panel looks good, thank you. It took me so long to draw, so I'm glad you like it. There's so much detail within it, but I'm really pleased with it. I'm really pleased with how it looks. It definitely looks lived in, you know, so it feels real. Yeah, I like that. Right, let me preview that again with the dust particles in. Yeah, the dust particles help out a bit. I think dust particles make any panel look better, honestly, so it looks good with some particles in there. Obviously, like I always say this, but my manga always looks a bit different from other manga because I just don't hatch. Hatching is not what I usually do, so it's a bit harder to achieve my more clean look with bigger panels like that. But I'm pleased with it. Right, okay, so let's work on marking and pressure here. We can actually put proper detail now into these characters. Let's put that all in. Put the eyes in. Right, so let's get our rubber out. Something like that. Brilliant, okay, and then gotta fill that part in as well. Or maybe not like that, like this. Right, and then we want to put some 90 shading in. Right, so if we put that down here, Put that all the way down. And put some shading underneath all the way down here. And put that down there, and then all the way down. Brilliant. Okay, so that's all being pulled back. That's what we want. Okay. Okay, and then let's put some more highlights into that hair then. Okay, and then we need 10% for the face. Okay, and then let's get 50 down as well for the accents. Okay, and then let's go back in with 10 again, because now we've got that 50 in, it's easy to put down to 10. Brilliant. Okay, and then 90 in the vest. Brilliant, and then we've got 50 for the bag over here as well, so let's put that in. Right, and let's select that layer. Let's put 60 in. Right, some shading under here too. Cool. Right, and then we've got his vest pattern that we need to put in. So let's make a grayscale layer, and then we'll put our pattern on top of that. Right, we can make that a bit bigger actually. There you go. Put down screen tone. No, long time no seeing. Hi Evan, how are you doing? I know, it's been a long time. It's been, I mean, I live streamed, I think yesterday. I can't remember if I live streamed today, yesterday or not, or if it was today prior. But I've live streamed in like the last 2 days. But before that, I haven't live streamed in like 2 weeks. Because one, I was ill for the last week, and then before that, I broke my ankle, so I couldn't be at my desk for a long period of time. There's all kind of been a sequence of events that haven't allowed me to live stream recently. I haven't been well for the last few weeks, and so it kind of just faded off social media. Oh no, I completely understand that. Do not worry, honestly. Is that I haven't been live streaming as much as I used to be, but I'm trying to live stream a lot more now. I had a really busy period with the webtoon script writing stuff I've been doing recently that I've talked about before. But I think it's finally gotten to a place that we got like a solid structure in place, and then I don't have to worry about it all the time. If that makes sense. I'll explain more once the webtoon is out. When it comes to things like that, I can give like a better explanation instead of being vague all the time when it comes to when I live stream and stuff like that. It's just the webtoon stuff is so unpredictable at the moment. It's hard to put a proper schedule in place when it comes to live streams, unfortunately. Let's put that in. But yeah, we have a bit more structure now in the webtoon stuff. Put that in like so. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Nakia? I do apologize if I say your name wrong. I appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Alright, if we bring that down. How are you getting on with your art there, Evan? Is it going well? Have you produced anything new recently? Let's put that in. Oh, actually, I think I'll probably put a fingernail on Larkin's thumb here. Right here. Right down there. Right, and then we got 30 for the box that we need down here. 30 here. Not really, lost motivation and energy to do anything but sleep, but feeling well enough to try and do some fan art of eloping from Scumson. I know who you're talking about, and I do apologize. I think I probably completely butchered their name, but I do know of the character you're speaking about. Yeah, so it'll be fun to see some the fan art done if you finish it after 11. So I look forward to it if you do it. But no, I totally get it. You said I know you got chronic illnesses and stuff, so I know the producing work can be a bit hard when you've got chronic illnesses. Right, and let's add some definition to the cream. Brilliant. And then let's put 17 in. The best android character in book form ever. I know. I need to get into all of that sort of world. I keep saying it and I never do it. I need to get into it, honestly. Because I know I'll enjoy it. So I don't know why I prevent myself from exploring it. Let's do his coat all in. Oh, that's his leg there. Okay, so that's the outer part of his coat, I see. Right, and then let's shade that in. Like so. And shadow down there, behind there. On anywhere that is darker. Oh, let's get rid of that. Brilliant. Okay, and let's add some shadow down there. Right, and then we can probably add some shadow behind the box actually. Right, and then let's turn that back on. Right, and then we've got a 70 to put as like his darker underneath coat part. And then we could go back to 90 for, actually, we can just do black. Makes it easier. I know it's technically 90 for his trousers down there, but again, it's just, there's not a lot there to it to make it black. Right, and then shadow underneath. Right, let's do 30 for the box down here. Right, and let's select that and put 50 on it again. But let's deselect this other box over here before we do that. Cool. Again, we want a shadow down there. Like so. So let's do that, and then I kind of want to make it 60 underneath this box on the clothes down here too. Let's do that. Just to make it more clear. Brilliant. And then let's do 10. That in. I do his hair in 10. Put it all the way down. Right, let's select this. Oh, and then it's 20. What drawing tablet are you using? I'm using a Cintiq 32 by Wacom. It's one of the biggest art tablets on the market. Go down here. Right, and then if I put that hand back on, let's put... Oh, actually, I forgot to put the shadows on his tie. Put that back on. Put that back down. Brilliant. Okay. And then let's put some highlights into his hair. So... Right, and then we can put shadow underneath his hair then. Brilliant. Put that down. Right, and then shadow under his neck. There we go. Brilliant. And then what we can do now is his shirt. This is also a gradient. Something like that. Let's put that all in. Okay, and let's put some heavy shadow into it. How did you get into drawing your webtoon? Is this your first work or do you have other work? I went to university to study comics and concept art. So during university, I made a lot of shorter comics as practice and such. So this isn't technically my first comic. It is my first like long running comic though, if that makes sense. I've done shorter comics before. I've done like 4-page comics, 8-page comics when I was at uni. But yeah, this is like the first long-term project, if you get what I mean. So, you know, I'm still quite new, I would say, to all of this. But I have been drawing comics for about 4 to 5 years now, so... Right, so we just got the background for that panel now, so let's work on that. Oh, got you. Is your first one still up, or did you never upload them? I did upload some of them. I don't know if I have my first one ever on my website. I can have a look. Yeah, because... I need to update my website actually because it loads really slowly. I need to fix that. Yeah, so there's some older stuff here. Now this is back in 2022, so this was pre what I was working on, what I'm working on now. Same with this one. This is different art style. Okay, this is 2022, but I mean I have like yeah, something earlier than that on my toy house. Let's see if I can get it. It could be under my characters still. I've been like that older works though. Do I still have it? Yeah. There you go. If you want my like kind of first attempt at manga, that's what my work looked like. Kind of crazy, folks. And this was 2020. And this is what I did at uni. My first project at uni was like a prototype for what I'm drawing now. But yeah, that's 5 years ago. So that's what my manga used to look like drawing comics like about 5 years ago. I don't know if I've got anything older on my Instagram. I might have something pre-university on my Instagram. Oh, hold on, I didn't care about that right now. It's probably all the way at the bottom though. It's gonna be super annoying. Have a look. You can see my art style change like completely down here when I scroll more. All the way down there. Do I have... Yeah, there you go. There you go. This is the first ever comic I made. and ever drawn. If you're wondering, like digitally, I should say, like digitally. This is the first ever comic I made. So obviously, it is very different vibes. It's not even anime. It's like, you know, traditional comic sort of style. You can study comic making at school. So look, we don't have comic specific degrees here. Oh yeah, is it in the UK? They've been popping up more recently. I was like the first ever intake for my course in the university I went to. So I was like one of like 30 people who attended the course, and like I would say like maybe 21 of us finished the course, which is pretty good honestly. So, and I started during COVID, which was a choice, I will say. Probably not the smartest choice, honestly. Actually, I don't know. Do I want to even screen tone? I kind of don't want to even screen tone this background, you know. I think it looks better about the screen toning. I just put right water around them, honestly. I think that'll look better than actually screen toning this panel. Alright, let me put a white back on to see how it looks. So like that. Put that around. Yeah, I didn't even think that was possible. Yeah. There's in the UK at least. There's a few comics where you can. Sorry, a few courses that you can study comics now. I went to the Montfort University in Leicester to study concept and comic art. But I mean, you got similar courses up in Leeds. Leeds Art University does one. Staffordshire University. You can do comics specifically. I think in Teesside as well you can do that. There's a few places around. I'm studying to be a painter at the moment because that was close as I could get to studying art. We have graphic art here too, but that's so hard. Yeah, I get that. I know in other places it's a lot more limited when it comes to options, unfortunately. But I mean, I will say, like, at university, I didn't really learn to study manga. Like, how I've learned to draw manga is mostly by myself. But there's a lot of cool tips that I've learned from general comic making, which, you know, I wouldn't have learned if it wasn't for uni. So it's kind of like a nice mix between a lot of, obviously, Eastern methods as well as a lot of Western methods in my manga, so... Put that in. Put that all in. Nice. Alright, so if we select that. Alright, so let's put the shadow down there. This looks so cool. OMG, thank you so much, Yami. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Evan, can you post what I've done fan art in the Discord and stuff? Yeah, absolutely. You know, you're more than free to post your artwork in the Discord. Feel free to. We do have some new members there actually at the moment who joined yesterday. So I'm sure they'd love to see your work. Do you have any materials to recommend? I do have the Scott McCloud books. Yeah, I've got the Scott McCloud books. Those are the main ones I have. But I will say, I'm a big fan of Tintin. So a lot of my studying also comes from like European comics as well. I'm very much inspired by Tintin. So I feel like when it comes to writing, I think a lot of my stuff is very much inspired by Tintin writing style more than anything else. Which I don't know if that's weird to say. But yeah, Tintin's one of my biggest inspirations. I find like studying, you know, the older classic works is really useful, which I don't think a lot of people tend to do. I also really like the work of, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the creator of Gegege no Kitaro. His work, fantastic, and he had some amazing advice when it comes to creating manga as well, that I highly recommend checking out. Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have like a book or anything because unfortunately he's passed away now. But his work is also very influential on me, and I've learned a lot from looking at his work too. What drawing iPad do you use? It's huge. I've never seen anything like this before. Yeah, it's a Wacom 32. It's a Cintiq. So it's a massive drawing tablet essentially that you hook up to your computer. And you just draw on. And then the program I'm using is Clip Studio Paint. But specifically the Expert Edition, so it comes with all the fancy comic tools, you know, so. Right, let's put that all down. Okay, brilliant. Okay, let's put some shading into this then. I love Clip Studio, but yeah, it's my you know, this is my I don't think I'd ever change programs. Now I have Clip Studio. It just works so well for my workflow. Honestly, I don't think there's a better program honestly for making comics. Like maybe if you use like textured brushes and you do color comics, like maybe another program would work better. Maybe, but obviously when you're doing black and white like I am, like Clip is like. The best of the best. I don't think there's anything else better than it out there, really. Put that all down that way. Brilliant. Okay. Let's put a shadow underneath his neck. Oh, did I not draw his neck in? Did I just completely forgot to do that? Do you guys see this? I completely forgot to draw the back of his neck in. How did I manage to miss that? I do it all the time as well. I don't know why. Let me just fix this up a sec. There we go. Alright, let's put that back in. Right. Now we can put the shading under his neck. Right, let's put the shading under there. Brilliant, okay, and then we just got his shirt, so let's do that. Like so. Do I need to put a heavy shadow under that? Maybe I should. I probably should. Actually, I think I'll get away with not putting any heavy shadows in that one. Like, maybe I'll just put it underneath his collars. Okay, and then let's put the box colour in. And then 70 for the cloth. So cool, I came across this. What genre of manga do you do and where can I access them? Webtoons? Yeah, so my genre is like crime mystery manga with supernatural elements. As you can see from the cover, it's got all magic and stuff on. So if you like your vampires, spellcasters, witches sort of thing set in a historical period, which has got like detectives and stuff in it, you'll probably really like the piece of stuff with that. Like think of like Black Butler, Quesadilla Vanitas, Moriarty the Patriot, D. Greyman, like those sort of vibes. That's kind of what the vibe of my series is like, in the most simplest of terms. But yeah, you can find it on Webtoon. It's just called The Thieves Who Stole From Death. You can just find it on Webtoon. I'll see if I can get it up. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. So I do have a Webtoon page if you did want to follow it. It's all up to date on there. So this page will probably go up to date, honestly, as well. So it's all, out of all the platforms, the most up to date platform is Webtoon. Because everything else, I have to upload when the chapter's done, you know, so. Right, let me put that shadow down. Brilliant. Okay, and then Larkin's hair. No, but I'll give you a follow. Thank you so much. Yeah, I wrote and drew everything myself. I am a one-man team. So I've been working on this for almost 3 years now, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, it said I am one-man team. I don't have anyone else helping me out, unfortunately. But yeah, it said what you see is all me, so... Let's put that down here, brilliant. Thanks so much for all the follows, folks, I really appreciate it. Is there romance in it, or does it focus on the mystery? It mostly focuses on the mystery. There is romance within it, but it's not the main focus. It is definitely more focused on the mystery and supernatural side, more than anything to do with romance. What's the genre? It's supernatural crime mystery, set in like Victorian era England in the city of Bath. So if that's your vibe, yeah, that's what the Thieves of Soften Death is. If you like detectives, yeah, this is like all detectives and stuff. Right. Let's put 10% sanitating in. Put that all in. Let's put his next scarf in as well. Okay, and then let's put 10% in again. Brilliant. And then 90 for this. And we want to put his plaid pattern on, so let's do that. Right, and then gradient for all of this, so let's put that on. Badim, there we go. That's cool, thank you so much, Wolfie, I appreciate it. Sort of like Persona, it's more closer to Kitty of Vanitas, D. Greyman. Yeah, like Evan says. Yeah, it's more those sort of vibes rather than anything Persona-esque. It doesn't have stuff like stands like in JoJo or anything. Like, you got more typical supernatural creatures within the Thieves of Soften Death. Though I guess like Fletcher's abilities might seem like sort of a stand in some regards, I guess. Thank you so much for the hearts. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kyla. I really appreciate it. Is that Wacom Cintiq 27? No, that's a Wacom Cintiq 27 over there. This is a 32. I got a 32 I'm working on at the moment. Alright, let's put some heavy shadows down there. Thank you so much for the crystal rose, Wolfie. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All goes a long way, folks. I really appreciate it. JoJo Peak Adventure Mentor. Yeah, I love JoJo. I said I don't talk about JoJo often, but I do like JoJo. I do need to catch up on it though, because I'm like in the middle of Golden Wind at the moment, so I do need to catch up with all of it. Thank you so much for all the likes, folks. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for the flame heart this time, Wolfie. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Could never get into JoJo. The art style was always off-putting for me. Yeah, I get that, Evan. I think because it's so heavily stylized, JoJo's in some aspects, and the art style changes dramatically within it, I can see why it might be off-putting to people, but it's so incredibly fun. And I really like the art myself, personally, so... Where are you posting this? So I have a physical edition. So this has the first 6 chapters in it if you prefer a physical book. But I'm also releasing it on Webtoon Canvas, Manga Plus creators, and Global Comics. You can read up to chapter 12 on Webtoon Canvas at the moment. That's the most up-to-date platform. But obviously, Webtoon as a platform is always lower quality for the pages, unfortunately. The best quality pages where you can read them is either in the physical edition or Global Comics. But Global Comics and Manga Plus creators only have the 11 chapters up on there at the moment. Right, if we bring that down, so. Right, and then put that back on. Okay. Let's save that for a second. I am overheating in my jumper. I'm wearing like my my Senna hoodie at the moment, and it is boiling me alive, folks. What software is on the tablet? Yeah, so the software is Clip Studio Paint, specifically the Expert edition of Clip Studio Paint. So it's a more expensive version, essentially, but it is more designed for comics in mind. I highly recommend it if you're looking to draw comics yourself and you want to be serious about it. I definitely recommend the upgrades if you're considering that. But the tablet I'm using is a Cintiq 32. So it's Cintiq tablets by Wacom. Right, let me put that down. Let's show it all the way down. We're almost done with this page, you know. They said we've only got 2 panels left. And I've been live streaming for almost, well, over 2 hours now, which is kind of crazy. Let's put it all down. Cool, I'll put it on my list to check out. Love Mysteries of Rule. It said, let me know if you like it. Feel free to give me a DM. Oh, also, it's a good point because I haven't put it up in the last 2 hours, I don't think. I do have a Discord server. So if you like my work, or you just want a chill place to hang out, or you're an artist yourself and you want to share some stuff, I do have a Discord server. It's a very chill community on there. You can be paying for notifications for when I go live on TikTok as well. So if you want to chat, or if you're a fan of my work, or you're a reader of the Thieves of Death, feel free to join. The Discord is in the link in my bio. You have to scroll down a little bit on my lit link to find it, but it is on there. So if you're interested, feel free to join. Obviously I'm not forcing you to, but it's a very chill community. Let me put this shading down there. So Fletcher's a sun type ability, kind of, I wouldn't say it like that, but like he can, essentially how magic works in this world, like you're either like a certain creature to be able to use magic, but magic has to come from somewhere to activate. So like for vampires, it's like they have to have like blood to activate their magic powers, right? So the more blood they have, the more powerful they are. And you know, if they drink more blood, the more likely they're able to use their abilities. Because some people, you know, some vampires maybe only drink blood like once a month or something just to keep themselves alive. But you know, that might not be enough blood to activate their powers. You know, there are certain limits in the world of Thieves of Death. Like spellcasters, for example, they use like magical ink in their books, and that runs out every so often. So they have to keep re-inking their spells to keep using it. And for like witches, they use like herbs and flowers to activate their magic. So magic has to come from somewhere, right? So for Fletcher, his magic kind of just happens. Like, there's nothing that he needs to do to activate it. So he's seen as a very powerful figure in the Thieves of Death, and also a very unnatural figure in the Thieves of Death. So it's an interesting fellow to to see his story, you know, because he is not typical, is what I'm trying to say. Whilst Larkin here is a human, and humans are not supposed to know about magic, so there's interesting dynamics going on. Yeah, unfortunately, the Cintiq 32 has been cancelled, yeah. So I got mine secondhand. So I bought mine on eBay secondhand. That's the only way you can really buy 32s these days, is to buy them secondhand. I wish they would produce them again, because I'd definitely like upgrade to a newer version if I could. I can't wait for the power ranking for all the races to come out. Yeah, I did. There's a whole thing because Arc 1 focuses on vampires so much. You mostly learn about vampires and their social dynamics in this whole mystical world in his first arc. And you know how the government essentially controls blood supplies and yada yada. You know, you can kind of see how vampires view other magical races, right? And how powerful other races might be within the first arc of the Thieves of Stuff and Death, which, you know, will continue in Arc 2. So Arc 2 starts after I finish this chapter. I should just clarify. This is literally the last chapter for the first story arc I'm drawing at the moment. So if you do decide to read it, you're drawing at a very good time, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, we should focus a lot more on like witches and magical, like actual magical creatures, like creatures who can't blend in with humans. You should see in Arc 2. Alright, let's put some highlights in. Brilliant. And add some higher ones down there, and one onto the ponytail too. Right, and then 50 for his next scarf. Oh, and then 50 for his bag as well. Let's remember to put that in. Put that down there. Nice. Okay, and then we got, oh yeah, his box. And Fletcher's box, we need to put those all in. I don't think I'll worry about shading those in this time. Right, let's put a gradient up here. Right, and then let's put all of this down, and then we'll put some heavy shading in for this. Or otherwise it will look like a solid gradient, which is not what we want. We want to show some clothes movement in it. Okay, let's put that down there. Put that down there. Put that all the way down there. Brilliant, okay. And if we put it down there this time, brilliant. Okay, that should be enough heavy shading. Right, and then let's shade the hands in as well with 10, just because they're going to be slightly in the dark. Brilliant. I'll keep this background white, just because everything else is full of detail. We'll just keep these two blank, I think. I don't think we'll do any effects. Maybe we'll get like an awareness effect with this panel here. Let's save it before, in case my computer crashes or something. It's very rare it does that, but we never know. Effects. Yeah, I want like some sort of thing like this. Let's put it like on this side here. Okay, and let's minimize that. Hello, Gulia. I hope I was saying your name right. Gulia? Oh, I do apologize. Hello, welcome to the live stream. How are you? How are you doing? How's the day been? How many pages are in chapter 1? 48 pages is in chapter 1. It is definitely the longest chapter out of everything. And all the other chapters average around 30 pages, give or take. This is like the final chapter for the first arc, so it's a little longer than the usual chapter. So this one comes in at 42 pages. Before you look at the title, be like, isn't this the final page? It's like, no, it's not the final page. We've actually got like 10 more pages to draw after this still. I wish it ended here, but it doesn't. This is amazing, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follows as well, folks. I really appreciate it. Alright, let's put this all in. Alright, and then throw all the shadows down here. How long does one page usually take? 6 to 7 hours, give or take. And that's all the way from like thumbnails all the way to the end. This one's probably taking me a bit longer. Let's have a look. Yeah, see, look, this page, guys, 8 hours 29 minutes so far on this, and that's because of this first panel. It is like, you can see that it's added at least an hour on just because of that background there, which I'm not surprised at, because there's a lot to that panel. So yeah, 6 to 7 hours usually. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the stream. It was really nice to see your process. I'm gonna go ahead and go out for a walk. Yeah, enjoy your walk. Is enjoy the light whilst it's still here, because it is getting darker in the evenings now, which I'm not looking forward to, because it's definitely going to get darker in my room whilst I work. I like having some ambient lights when I'm working, so when I'm working in the evenings, I don't like it as much really, but yeah, go and enjoy your walk now. Thank you so much for tuning in. What benefits such a huge screen? I have more room to work on, and then I can have all my other stuff hanging around. Like, you see all of my extra stuff down here and all my brushes over here, right? It just gives me more room and workspace on my page, so I can see a lot more. And also, it's good for my posture, having such a screen, a big screen. I'm not bending over it all the time. It is better for my posture having a bigger tablet. Put that in. You know what would be really good though? If I had it like an easel. That'd be even better for my posture, honestly. Right, so let's put that back on. Brilliant. Okay, let's put highlights on. Let's put that on. Brilliant. Right, and then we've got 30 for the eyes. Like so. Let's put big highlights in there. Nice. Thank you so much for the follow, Simon. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Brilliant. Let's put some shadows underneath the hair here. Put that down there. Brilliant. And then everything else needs to be shaded in. Put that down there. And down here, brilliant. And then for the inside of this mouth, we probably want 30, so let's put that in. Let's put 10 in. Shade that in with 20. We're almost there, folks. We're almost done with this bloody comic page. It's taking me so long to get this page done. Yeah. Okay, so we need 50 first coat. Okay, so let's select 50 here, and then we'll shade that in with 60. Oh, that's selecting the dots, not the area. There we go. Okay, let's put the shadow down here. Fix it up a bit. Brilliant. And then down there, behind his neck, needs to be shaded in. Bring this over here. Thank you so much for the like. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Right, and then we've got a gradient for his top, and then that should be hopefully the final screen tone we put down, folks. Hopefully, I don't really need to put anything else down after this. Right, let's select this, and let's put some house shadows underneath, and then I think we should be pretty much there. Let's put some shadows under here, underneath there. Yeah, let's do it underneath here in general, and down there. Brilliant. Okay, let's turn that back on. I think we're pretty much there. Let's preview this. Let's see if we can spot anything that I can see that is a mistake. Wait for that to save. Okay, let's really preview it. Is that gonna load? Yes. Success. Okay. What can I spot that is mistakes? The top panel looks fine. I don't think there's any mistakes in that top panel really. I've got to look at the dialogue here. You're not living down a... Yeah. Did you seem not happy today? Or maybe because my sermon is also in the page. What? A second. Yeah, and then I need to spell check this article when I focus on that page next. I know I've got 2 spelling mistakes over here in this page. Yeah, I wrote this right at the start of the chapter before I even started finishing pages off. I know I have 2 mistakes in there, so that I could do that this evening, honestly. Figure that out. But as you can see, I've only got 2 panels to draw for that page, so it should be really quick. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else to do. I don't think there's anything I need to adjust actually, which is really unusual, as people know who are frequent viewers here. Usually there's something at the end of the page that I need to fix, but I'm not seeing it this time. I don't think I spelled anything wrong either. Me always double checking the spelling. Which always on the ground. Thank you. What program do you use? I use Clip Studio Paint EX. So it's the professional version of Clip Studio is what I'm using. But yeah, I said I'm just about finished here though. But yeah, apart from that though, I think that's the page done. So it's taken us 2 hours and a half essentially to get this page done, which is honestly really good. I thought it'd take a lot longer. I mean, to be fair, I did a lot of the first panel before starting live stream because I was like, you guys would not want to watch me work on that background. I think I think everyone would die a little bit inside with how long that would take me. So I did that before stream, so I think that saved a lot of time today. But no, I really appreciate everyone joining me today. It's been a really good crowd. As I said yesterday, it was a really good crowd as well. I really appreciate everyone who's checked out my stuff. Again, I've got a Discord server, so if you want to find out when I'm next live, feel free to join the Discord server. You can be a fan of my work, or you could be an artist yourself and you just want to share your work and you just want to chill with the community, hang out, or you just like my streams and you just want to chat, a place to hang out and chill. My Discord is there if you want to join. Link is in the bio. Might just have to scroll down a little bit, but you'll find it there. You can also, on the link in my bio, find all the links to my manga as well if you're interested in reading. But apart from that, I hope you all are having a great day, and I will see you soon. Is this zoomed in on Webtoon or different site? Yes. So it is on Webtoon Canvas. So you can read all up to date on Webtoon Canvas. I uploaded it by the page on Webtoon Canvas. So it will be the quality will be squished on Webtoon Canvas. But you can find better quality on Manga Plus Creators and Global Comics, or if you prefer a physical version, you can just get the book containing the first 6 chapters in. But once I get to the end of chapter 12 here, I will be releasing the second volume, and then we should get 2 books then. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone who's joined me today. I'm sure I'll do another live stream soon. Probably not for next page. I reckon I could probably tell you what the next stream will be about. I think the next stream might be the Halloween illustration stream. Because I think after the next page, when I get that done, really the time crunch is there to get illustration done for Halloween. So I think that's what we'll probably live stream next. And I've never done an illustration stream before. So I think that should be quite fun and different for everyone. But yeah. Apart from that, I will see you all later. Bye-bye!